The new wave of platformers thrives on nostalgia, whether it's the return of long-beloved franchises or reworking mechanics plucked right out of the early 90s. This retro revival has shown many classic ideas still hold up, even in an era of cutting-edge technology. However, it's not often that these new games step beyond paying homage to truly expand on those foundations. That's exactly where ANTONBLAST from Summitsphere stands apart. At first glance, it may look familiar to seasoned platformer fans, drawing clear inspiration from Wario Land, much like last year's Pizza Tower did. But after spending some time with a full release, Blast goes deeper than surface level homage. Rather than just revisiting the past, the developers have built on it, crafting something fresh and exciting while retaining those strong foundations. It's loud, bold, and overflowing with creativity, like a garage rock band that grew out of a shared love for classics, but strive to make their own unique sound. ANTONBLAST clears that goal and easily stands as one of the best gaming experiences of the year, both for platformers and independent releases. If you're after a title that reinvigorates the classics with its own cutting-edge innovations and feisty personality, then ANTONBLAST is easily a must-play. Picking up where the team's previous game left off, Blast follows the characters of Dynamite Anton and Annie as they take on Satan himself, in a quest to retrieve their stolen collection of spirits and reduce his kingdom to rubble. Standing in their way is an army of bumbling goons, challenging obstacle courses, and a suite of bosses that push the game's programming and players through their paces. Giving Anton and his lord a little extra oomph, Summitsphere have gone further than their contemporaries with Blast's animation and presentation. At times, it almost feels like a tie-in game to a raucous flash-animated cartoon, punctuating moments between levels with animated sequences and funny voice acting.
Suppose that Anton thinks about me?
I suppose one small warning is that this game is definitely aimed at older players due to some foul language, but it fits ANTONBLAST's potential audience of seasoned platformer freaks looking for new thrills. While the premise of obstacle clearing and boss bashing feels familiar, ANTONBLAST injects its own twists into the classic formula. For starters, the titular protagonist is a playful subversion of Mario's iconic Candyman image. Anton, or Annie, is a hyperactive, hulking force of destruction who smashes their way through levels with a hammer, using it for double jumps and obliterating obstacles. It's always impressive to rip through environments, and the game never drops a frame in spite of how much destruction is going on. This emphasis on chaos evokes the box-smashing antics of Crash Bandicoot, which has inspired one of ANTONBLAST's most unique mechanics. By tapping the attack button in quick succession, players can launch Anton across the environment, picking up speed and turning him into a human wrecking ball. Velocity is one of ANTONBLAST's guiding principles, and that speedrun-focused gameplay is a big part of his lasting appeal. Having played ANTONBLAST through 3 different stages of development over the past 2 years, I noticed that each time I return, I improve. That's no accident because ANTONBLAST is designed to encourage players to refine their skills, uncover hidden secrets, maximize their scores, and trim down their playtimes. While you're encouraged to get into Anton's aggressive mindset, the game sings when you're finally tuning its tight controls, pulling off acrobatic feats that previous platformer stars could only dream of. Drawing inspiration from Nintendo's Wario Land 4, the levels in ANTONBLAST are sprawling, exploratory spaces where finding the path forward is just as challenging as collecting your loot. This is only one act of the adventure, as there's no conventional flagpole to reach, but instead a timer that signals a mad dash back to the entrance. ANTONBLAST enhances this borrowed idea with its own explosive identity, as this moment starts detonating the level around you. These escape sections are the game at its most pulse-pounding, with a colossal orchestral track that makes these moments feel epic every time. ANTONBLAST keeps its level count lean but memorable, eschewing from the platformer tropes of grass, fire and winter wonderlands to dig into urban chaos, construction sites and some truly unique locales. Each stage feels like a hand-picked track on a mixtape, packed with unique mechanics, fresh ideas, and eye-catching aesthetics, not to mention a few delightful surprises. Each is lengthy, often covering more ground than the classics, and it encourages players to revisit their favourites and dive deeper, much like putting a favourite song on repeat. While I won't go through every level track by track, one of my favourite views is a gem-filled mine with a fully functional pinball table, where Anton is flipped and bounced around to progress. Though the game still features plenty of traditional platforming challenges, it's levels like this that make ANTONBLAST stand out from the competition. It's clear that Summitsphere wasn't constrained by retro platforming rules. They didn't set out to make a game that could have been released on the GBA or Nintendo DS. Instead, they took those influences as a starting point and used modern game development to create something completely new. The game may have its roots in classic design, but it never feels creatively stifled. The epic boss battles are a prime example of this, like the fight against a segmented pachinko dragon that uses old school sprite overlapping methods before breaking new ground with effects I've never seen in this kind of tech. Although the game will thrive on replay, even if you only play through once, there's so many humongous moments in ANTONBLAST that the experience will stick with you for a long time.
There, don't smile because it happened. Cry because it's over!
What is so impressive about ANTONBLAST is that it's confident enough to go beyond mere image recognition. I would heartily recommend the game to any platformer fan, old or new, because it is so immediately enjoyable and brimming with great ideas. For genre scholars, the game feels like a playable Easter egg hunt. You'll see mechanics and concepts reworked from titles as eclectic as Virtual Boy Wario Land, but if you were none the wiser, you wouldn't feel as if you were missing the context. Everything cohesively meshes together, wrapped in a bold and off-kilter art style and soundtrack that is so wholly the developer's own. While others may feel the warm and fuzzy nostalgia of playing the platforming greats when going through ANTONBLAST, everyone else won't be left out. In fact, it could be the game that gets you into a whole new world of fantastic platform as it remixes samples from. Like getting into Daft Punk or Justice, you might want to go and seek out the games it's referencing. Or you could simply enjoy ANTONBLAST for the wild punk platformer it is. Either way, I'd be keen to know whether you'll give the game a try when it releases December 3rd on Steam, and coming soon to the Nintendo Switch. I'm James, and I'll see you all in the next upload.